name's Whitney,
I'm David.
and we're here for Q&A Wednesday. Okay, so we have got 3 questions for you today. These are kind of residential concrete based, and this came from me having a conversation with our embroiderer, and it's cool to be like the concrete expert. Sometimes, you know, with you and John, I feel like I'm not quite at that caliber, but just, you know, talking to somebody on kind of basic stuff, like it was just cool to, I realized that I had, I think, more knowledge than I guess
These are good
I
questions.
anticipated, so.
These are good questions. We've gotten these before from other people.
Oh, totally.
So-
And residential is such a huge thing, especially for people who aren't in the industry. They're kind of blown away that with concrete. So the first one is all concrete created equal?
Well, that's an interesting question, isn't it? I mean,
Totally.
we deal with that every day here, and so there's different concrete mixes. If you go to the mix plant, I mean, they've got 30, 40 mixes, so
Right.
it's just
And all for different applications too.
different applications, different strengths. So, you know, the homeowner's familiar with going to Home Depot, looking at paint. You know, this paint's supposed to be exterior, that paint's supposed to be interior.
Sure.
This paint is enamel, this paint's supposed to last longer. This
The
paint's
low
for-
VOC,
low
the, you know,
VOC.
low odor.
Concrete's like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like that. We have internal concrete
Sure.
intended for internal mix. We've got external intended to hold up better to the weather. We've got
Right.
stronger concrete.
Well, and then depending on where you're at, I mean, there's stuff that's specialized for freeze thaw, there's stuff
Right.
that's better for marine environments or corrosion, so there's so many different aspects. So it's definitely not a one size fits all, I would
Yeah.
say, in short.
Yeah, and the audience is probably sick of me bringing up the example, but house shingles. You know,
Sure.
if we're going to buy a house,
Siding, stucco, like,
yeah, I'm going to buy a house shingles. We can buy 60 mile
Right.
an hour, 75 mile
Right.
an hour, 100 mile an hour, depending on where you are.
sure.
In my case, I mean, the wind comes whistling across the plains. I'm going to buy 100 mile an hour
Right.
shingles.
Right.
I just am.
Sure,
So when
absolutely.
I buy concrete, I'm going to buy stronger concrete.
And buy it for where you're at.
Right.
Absolutely. Second question, why is my driveway falling apart after 3 years? And this is something that we've been on a number of lawsuits about,
Right.
you know, residential concrete that's falling apart incredibly quickly.
Right.
Jonathan hates it when I say this, but I say, to put it more delicately, residential concrete is generally lower end. And there is a place for it in the industry. I mean, if you figure there's not a lot of liability with it. You know what I mean? It's not like a bridge where you've got thousands of cars going over every day and you have to worry about, you know, people's health and safety. It's, you know, a car driving up a few times a day, going back and forth. There's very low risk and low liability. So a lot of times they are not getting the best quality concrete. We had a client who got a test lab done at his place not too long ago to test out a new project. I think you know who I'm talking about.
Right.
And he ordered a concrete, like a decent concrete, like 4,000 PSI at 28 days, and I think it was like a 0.45 on the water cementitious ratio. John and I were reviewing batch tickets, and it was like a 0.63 because the contractor wanted to save money. 0.63 on the water cementitious, so it's very easy to give a very subpar
Yeah.
mix for residential.
And to make sure everybody in the audience understands that, WC, water cement ratio, is how much water to cement weight you're putting into the concrete. So a bigger number is bad.
Right.
More water ruins concrete, more water ruins good whiskey. So, you know.
Are you a whiskey guy?
I kind of am.
Wow,
So,
did not know that.
that and Kentucky bourbon. But yeah, so we need to be careful with that. And, you know, the owner has the ultimate responsibility. You know?
Right.
And so, you know, if you're going to order a sub sandwich and they say, how much pepper do you want? You say, oh, hell, I don't care.
Whatever.
Put in however much you want. You know, that's not going to be, not going to come out just right. So owners need to know a little bit about
Oh,
things.
agreed.
You know, they need to know what product they're buying, what it's good for, if there is a warranty,
Right.
if they could put in a little more money to get a warranty, those kinds of things. So homeowners need to know the same thing about concrete that they know about rugs and paint
Absolutely.
and all those issues. And that's part of why we're here. So if you have questions about concrete,
Absolutely.
send them in.
Yes,
that's what
please.
this session is for.
Absolutely. And that brings us to our last question. How can I get better residential concrete? And I think the biggest thing is, you know, whoever you end up calling for your ready mix provider, ask them questions. Just don't say, hey, I need some concrete for my driveway. hey, do you have a concrete that's a little bit higher quality? Maybe, if you're in Colorado or you're in a North Dakota, someplace where you're dealing with freezing and thawing, see if they've got something that can accommodate for that. Ask them about finishing aids. I mean, there's so many different aspects. The biggest thing is just starting to ask questions, like what can I do to make sure my concrete doesn't fall apart in 3 years? Like, you need to get a dialogue going with somebody you're buying concrete for or from, and find out what options they have.
Yeah, and the homeowner's gonna be dealing with a contractor. They're probably
Sure.
not gonna be dealing with the ready-mix plant.
Maybe not, but I mean, still, the dialogue I think is the most important thing, and just
Absolutely.
knowing what you're getting. Are you getting a no frills American cheese, or are you getting a rosemary olive oil Asiago? You've got and
That's
there's
right.
a price point associated with each, and each one has its place. But which one are you trying to get?
Right, again, just think a little bit about the paint model. I mean,
Right.
most homeowners know that. Interior, exterior, enamel, metal
Sure.
versus wood, all those. Just think about that model. Concrete's kind of the same, interior, exterior, stronger for driveways, maybe not such a big deal if it's just a basement floor.
Sure.
Just kind of think about that model a little bit. But like Whitney says, make sure you know what you're getting.
Absolutely.
And when you know what you're getting, make sure it's what you want.
Absolutely. And then verify when you get it that it is what you ordered.
Right.
Because you'd be surprised how, I don't think it happens too often, but it probably happens more often than people realize that a subpar, lower quality concrete is.
And contractors have to know these things. They're licensed. They
Absolutely.
have to take a test to be licensed, so they
Right.
know these things.
Right.
They should know all these answers.
And I think the more questions you ask too, just the better it's going to be, because they're going to know that you're going to ask those questions throughout the entire process. I feel like it protects, like at the doctor's office, do you just say yes, or do you want to know? I'm one of those annoying parents who ask 8 million questions. Why is this happening? Why is this? Do I need to cut this out of their diet for now? Just asking questions is, I think, only going to be a good thing.
Buying a car, do we go
Yes.
in there and say,
I'll
just sell me
take that
sell me what you think. I don't care.
Right.
What's going to happen?
Right. Yeah.
Same thing with concrete.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Well,
I'm David.
I'm Whitney. Thanks for joining us.